Hello, all. Welcome to the Model Way, where we inspire, we motivate, and we teach both new and seasoned models. My name is Lenny Wheeler. I am your host. Guys, please like and subscribe to the channel today. We are rolling on YouTube. We're rolling on Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Apple Podcasts. We look forward to hearing you. Please share. Please share the information. Get it out there for other models so they can see what we're doing and what we're all about. We look forward to it, guys.
Just pick up the phone, but I can't help but feeling so lonely. Yeah. On a Friday night. Yeah.
Okay, guys, she's a beauty, discipline, and ambition wrapped into an unstoppable force. Born in Lafayette, Indiana, Reissen Blum took her first steps toward greatness as a competitive cheerleader, but her dreams didn't stop there. With a relentless drive and a vision for something bigger, she spent 4 years modeling independently, mastering the game from the ground up. Now, at just 23 years old, she's a signed professional model, making serious moves in the fashion and entertainment business. This is the Model Way, and today we're proud to welcome a rising star who's turning hustle into a legacy, Reissen Blum. Miss Reissen, how are you?
I'm great. Thank you so much for having me on today. How are
Girl,
you?
I'm doing absolutely fantastic. If I was any better, man, I'd be modeling. So I'm glad you're here. We're super excited about having you here, guys. This is Reissen, guys, and the intro just said everything, guys. But I'm really excited about having her here on the show. And Reissen, I kind of wanted to talk to you a little bit and kind of ask you about your journey a little bit, kind of go through some questions and kind of find out what is it really like modeling in New York City. So Reissen, how did you tell us how you got into modeling?
So, I think I started with professional competitive cheerleading, and I think through that I really learned that I love to perform. And also, there would be photographers in the crowd, and afterwards, we were able to purchase the photos. And I just realized I loved having my photo taken and just performing. So, to me, I see modeling as an art and a performance because you express different emotions and you move your body different ways,
Right.
and I just really love it.
Well, tell me, I mean, how does somebody get into like professional cheerleading? That's awesome because you've had to probably grow up into it in high school and when you were a kid and all this stuff. But how did somebody become a professional cheerleader? I've never met a professional cheerleader.
It's like competitive cheerleading. So and I grew up in Indiana, and in Indiana there were gyms, there were like multiple cheerleading gyms, and you would sign up and you would actually try out as well and see if you would make a team. And
Wow.
that's the whole process when it comes to cheerleading. And I just loved it was a lot of hard work, and
Yeah.
I just loved everything about the hard work and learning a routine and then performing it in front of a big crowd. Because, like at these competitions, there's about, I would say, 100 teams, and you're competing against 50 in your category. So there would be tons of people in the crowd, and yeah, that's how I got into
Well,
cheerleading. You
that's
try
cool.
out for the team, and
That's it, huh? That's it. That's simple, right? That's cool. So, like, tell me how how did you get into the modeling side? You said you took some pictures. I heard you say you took some pictures with some of the photographers in the crowd. How did that motivate you to start modeling?
I think that growing up, I really didn't see myself as beautiful at all.
Yeah.
And I was told a lot by the photographers, like, hey, you photograph really well, or there's an option to where you can look through all the photos and then purchase them. Like, the families and stuff, like moms and dads, they want to purchase photos of their, daughters or boys competing. And it happened to be like I was always in the front competing, and I was always therefore in the photos. And I just really enjoyed having my photo taken and looking at them and seeing myself in a different way than what I see myself as in a normal basis, like day to day.
Wow, that's good. So these guys are taking pictures of you and kind of reiterating how beautiful you are, because you are beautiful. You got an amazing face,
Me
and I
too.
think it's cool. I think I saw some stuff on TikTok that you were doing. You had some videos out there, and it was just streamlining to me. And I was like, man, I got to shoot with this girl myself, personally. And that's you should feel pretty good about that. And I'm sure that made you feel pretty good. So you did that. How did you? When you got started, did you have some struggles getting into the business? Were you having self-doubt, any kind of rejection or anything like that?
When it comes to self-doubt, I think starting out, I had to work a ton on my confidence and also just getting comfortable behind a camera, learning to be relaxed behind a camera. Like, majority of my struggles starting is just learning to be relaxed and move naturally. I struggled a lot with social anxiety, so sometimes that anxiety would cause my face to tense up or be less comfortable behind a camera. But as the more I did it, I got more and more comfortable, and I've been told by a photographer, it's almost like a whole other person comes like out of me behind a camera. Once the camera is like up, it's like, I don't know, I just zone out and I just get into it, and I just love that about modeling.
I think that's a really good point that you make, because the self doubt can creep into a lot of, especially girls. The self doubt creeps
Yes.
in. You understand what's going on, and you feeling the rejection and all this stuff. And it's amazing that you kind of zoned out. And kind of tell me about that. What happened? What goes through your head when you zone out and you're in front of the camera and you're taking these pictures? You have these certain thoughts in your head, or you're thinking of a character, or are you thinking of a moment?
So when I'm behind the camera and I zone out, when I started, I actually created like an alter ego for myself, because in real life I'm very soft spoken. A little shy, but when a camera is put in front of me, my mind just kind of goes into this place where I'm like Reissen V, and that's the alter ego that I made for myself. And she's very confident. She, makes all these different faces. She moves very like elegant and does all these poses. And so I just really tap into that alter ego in order to perform well in front of a camera.
Wow, and I'm sure you got some amazing shots. I'm gonna be posting some of these on the next episode when we actually get out there. We're gonna see them, right? So, but that's really cool. So, what was kind of your what are some of the early lessons that you learned about the industry that no one really told you about? This is a good question, because I like to hear this from people.
Some early lessons that I've learned that I have not been told about: not comparing yourself to others, because you can only be you, right? Like, I think comparison ruins a lot of things, including success and how you perform. And when I started in this business, I put an insanely amount of unnecessary pressure on myself to maybe look a certain way or be a certain size. And I just had to teach myself to really accept me. I'm recent. There's a lot of different models with different looks. And, that also goes with rejection. Whenever I face rejection, I've learned to not take it personal, because at the end of the day, the client is looking for a specific look. It doesn't mean you're not beautiful. It doesn't mean, your body's not right. They have a certain look in mind, and I've learned to not take it personal so I can keep on going in this business.
It's funny that you say that, because I just did a little short reel and I put it online, and it's talked about that, like about having not feeling like you got to look like everybody else or compare yourself, because
Right.
in all actuality, reason, it's like when you go to these casting calls and things like that, they're looking for somebody like you. It may not be your shot that moment, but by God, if they don't like you that way, they may like you for the next round that you go see. And
Right, exactly.
mm-hmm. Yes, and so that's what we teach, and that's what I thrive. And I love hearing it from other people that go through these problems because you're going to be able to help somebody else out the same way, which is really really cool. So that's super exciting. I'm super stoked that you answered that just like that. Okay, right, Reissen, these are great. This is great that you're giving us all this information. I just love it. You guys, please like and subscribe to the channel. Our algorithms are kicking off, man, and we're really streaming a lot of things going on out, especially on Spotify. If you want to join us on Spotify, please do. Please like, comment, share the content. Reissen, kind of tell us how long you've been in New York, you said. So let me get this back. You've been there for 3 months, but you got signed over a year ago, right? Is that correct?
Yes, that's
Okay,
correct.
cool. So what tell us about your agency. What agency are you with?
So I'm with Propel Models. I absolutely love my agency. I have the best agent. I'm able to talk to her about everything and ask her all sorts of questions, which I believe is very, very important. So I really appreciate Propel. They've been patient with me as well on my journey because I have had a couple setbacks that actually delayed me getting work and things like that. So they've really stuck by my side, and for them, I really love and appreciate them for that.
Man, it's always good to have, you got a mother agent that can sit in your corner and they're there for you as a friend and as a mentor and
Yes.
help you grow in the business instead of just putting you on a shelf and be like, oh, just go figure it out, right? Like, so that's kind of cool. And I
Yes.
really like that about that. And that tells me a lot about who you are and who you're with. It's just absolutely amazing. I want to talk about how you find consistency in the business. I don't know how much work you've done with your agency, just being freshly new, but have you done a lot of work with them?
I've done a runway show, and that was last season. I went to the casting, I made the casting, and I was able to do a runway show. But I had a little setback. I came from Williamsport to New York, and just the city of Williamsport, which is in Pennsylvania. I had a situation and it did and like set me back. I was sent casting calls, but unfortunately, I was kind of like stuck in Pennsylvania. And even with me working as a barista at a cafe, the casting calls that I was being sent, I couldn't attend because I couldn't afford the travel.
Right, right.
So now that I'm in New York City, I'm ready to go at every single casting that's being sent to me and just give it my all.
That's good. That's good. So tell me how do you handle the competition out there? I know it's brutal out there in New York City. Some place people don't believe me, but it is tough. And I don't know how many have you gone to, but what are you doing to handle the rejection and handle the competitiveness out there in New York City?
So, when it comes to competition, I am an ex competitive cheerleader, so I absolutely love the competition. But honestly, I don't really compete with anyone per se because all I can do is be the best version of myself. And so I really don't think too much about competition. If I'm right for a job, I'll be selected. And if not, then, on to the next, and that's okay.
That's all you can do, really, right? But that's
Yeah.
cool because we're kind of reiterating that, just being able to compete it with yourself because everybody's got a different look, and you want to try to maintain the look that for you and be the best version of yourself. And I think the more competition that you get, the better you're going to be, and the more rejection you get, the better. I hate hearing it like that. You want to book everything, but at the same time, you get more rejection than you do acceptance.
Yeah.
Like, really cool. I want you to tell our guests, kind of the things that, most people totally misunderstand about the modeling lifestyle.
So I think that a lot of people may see a model on Instagram, on social media, and think that everything is glamorous or that the job is easy. But behind the scenes, you really have to be able to upkeep your mental health, your physique, and it's just not as glamorous or easy as it's painted to be online, I think. But I absolutely love it. But I think sometimes when other, people of different industries see a model or think of a model, they think that we just stand in front of a camera and that's it. There's a lot of work also with, you have to train to learn how to move your body. Different facial expressions are important so that you can give the client what they're looking for.
Right, right. Just being versatile, and I think that have you taken any acting lessons as well on top of anything else that you're doing out there?
No, but I would absolutely love to. I thought about that.
You should, because it's not only will it help you with that, because it's also good for commercial modeling, but it helps your modeling career
Yes.
too, because you're getting into another character. And I don't think a lot of people understand. No, I just want to take pictures and look pretty, get my makeup on, and have somebody get these fittings
Right.
on board. Or that's all it is. No, it's not. There's more to it than that. And you're doing that. But I totally recommend Reason to go try to find some modeling classes. That'll help you out huge. Um,
Yes.
so guys, again, this is for the third time. Please like and subscribe, because that's what I do. I need you to like and subscribe to the channel right now. No, I love it. And I'm loving who we're sitting here with, Miss Reissen. Miss Reissen here out of New York City. She's just an amazing character. And I can tell she's just a kind-hearted, beautiful spirit and a beautiful soul. And I'm glad and more than blessed to have her on this show. I want you to tell me kind of some of the unique things that help you stand out. What do you do to stand out? That's good. That's a tough question. I just like that question. It's gonna be too hard
so
for you.
so honestly, I'll bring it back to when I was in Florida, if that's okay.
Yeah,
So when I was in Florida and I was surrounded by other models, my hair was actually about down to here, maybe down to my lower waist, and it was actually blonde, and that's not my natural color. And to kind of set myself apart, I chopped off my hair, and I looked back on the 90s models, and I just created a signature look for myself. And in Florida, everyone's kind of, not everyone, but majority of models are blonde, they have long hair, because it's close to Miami. So to set myself apart, I really just took the time to kind of feed into my alter ego, Reissen V, and I created a look, and this is like me. This is what I've created. My family thought I was crazy. They're like, why are you cutting all your hair off? But I just really love it. I feel like I created something for myself.
No, that's really good, because I think that, like, what people don't understand is, like, in this business, you have to create your own look. Yeah, people, you have to show your own style and create your own look and your own vision, and stand out, right? And that's what you did.
Yes.
Like, you cut your hair, and I love it because you talked about the '90s. I love the '90s because
Oh,
it's
me
just a neat
too.
era
Me
to be
too.
into. Linda Evangelista, all
That
these
was my
great.
inspiration. She was my
Yeah,
inspiration.
yeah, I can tell, and that's what I was going to bring that name up, because that's what she did. She chopped. If you know the story, she used to shoot with a guy by the name. Look him up. His name's Peter Lindbergh. He's just the late Peter Lindbergh. He passed away probably about 5 years ago.
Yes.
And if you notice, like, he as a photographer said, you need to cut your hair off. I'll make you a star. And she did, and that's what happened. But that's so cool how you did that. I love that about you talking about that, and talking about how you stand out and make yourself branding. I call it branding. How do you stay ready, Reissen? I mean, how do you stay ready? On a diet plan that you do, or a good regimen that
So
you do?
I I treat every single day as if I would get a casting call the next day. So I follow my own diet. I work out every single day, and I've learned to include workouts that I really enjoy. So in the morning, I'll start off with a run, and then I'll come home and I'll do my Pilates. And I just eat a ton of whole food. So I just keep my body looking well. So if I get called the next day, I feel confident and I'm ready to go.
Man, that's good. You gotta keep that and just go
Yes.
with it, right? Like, you gotta stay that, right? And I love that because
Yeah.
you got good habits, and I'm sure that you swear by them, which is really good. Walk us through a day in the life of Reissen in New York City. I want to hear this.
A day in the life of Reissen. So I'm like My friends joke, they're like, oh, you're like an old person. So in a day in my life, I wake up at 5:30 in the morning. I'm usually in bed by 10 p.m. And at 5:30, I get up, I wash my face, I ice my face, I do my skincare, and then I go for my run, and then I come back here and I do my Pilates, and then I'll make, breakfast, my meals, and if I have an off day, lately I've just been exploring the city, having fun and just enjoying my time here while I'm off as a model.
And just learning New York City, right?
Yes, it's important. I've been trying to go around and I've been saving locations for my test shoots and I'm learning the subway system, trying to master that.
It's different, man. New York City's a whole different animal. Like if you haven't been, it's
It
if you
is.
don't know New York City, you're gonna learn real quick. You get ran through, right? So I remember my first time going, man,
Yes.
it was crazy. I had to learn the subways, and I was going out there trying to go to these meet the agents and get the test sheets set up and setting myself up for that kind of success. And it was just crazy. But that's so good that you're keeping up with that thing for you. What do you think the next biggest part of your career is? What do you like
My
changing
next
in the next 5 years or so, as far as modeling's concerned?
As far as modeling and my goals, my honestly, it's really sky's the limit. It's really sky's the limit for me. I have huge dreams. I would love to be featured on multiple magazines. I would like to get to a point where I'm consistently booking work, and I just love modeling so much. My goal is for all my time to be filled with modeling, honestly.
Man, that's a dream for everybody too. You keep working,
Yes.
you're still young, and you still the best part of you is still left to come. So I just hope that you just keep continuing on with it and just going from there. Do you have any advice for anybody that's moving to New York City in the next time frame soon or anything? Do you have any advice for some of these young people that are wanting to be in New York City?
So, advice for people who want to move to New York City, I would say just when you get here, know that it's probably completely different from where you're originally from, but you will adapt. And honestly, I would encourage younger people to move to New York City because I think that it makes you grow a ton as a person and as an individual and grow in whatever career path that you're taking. I would also advise people to come here with a strong mindset because there's thousands of people in the city, thousands of different personalities, and just be confident and know that you're one of those people. You're one of the people out of thousands that are walking around, and honestly no one really cares in New York, and that's what I love so much about it. It's kind of like a freeing feeling, like everyone's just doing their own thing and no one's really worried too much about what you're doing. So I would just encourage it. I feel like it makes you grow as a person and all around.
Wow. Wow, that's excellent. Excellent. If you had anything that you could fix about this industry in the modeling business, what would it be?
I thought about that, but honestly, right now, I can't say that I would fix anything about the industry currently. Now we have more diversity in the industry these days. We have different body types being advertised. So I think that's great for, plus size models and petite girls. But as far as it goes currently, I wouldn't change anything about it. And I think that anyone can do anything they put their mind to as long as you create that mindset for yourself. And if you really want to model and you walk into this business, just remember why you wanted to start modeling, and just don't stop. You're going to get a lot more no's than yeses, but I think eventually everyone gets their break if you work hard enough and you stay dedicated.
Man, that's good. That's good. Man, you summed it all right. That's it, y'all. Mic drop. No, but man, that you summed it all up, and that's one of the things that's absolutely amazing about, what I do. I love hearing from the other people and the models that I do work with and the models I get to interview. This is just absolutely amazing, guys. Guys, please like and subscribe to the channel today. Okay, I don't know if anybody's ever done this recent, but I wanted to ask you this, because if your runway walk had to be a theme song, what would it be like and why?
Flashing Lights. Flashing Lights by Kanye West.
Yes.
Yes, because I think why? Because like with the beat, it's like flashing lights, and I just like imagine like my hips like swaying side to side as I
Boom,
walk, and
boom,
I feel
boom,
like yes,
boom.
and I feel like that's running through my head sometimes.
I love that. I love that. I love that. Okay, so what's the wildest or most unexpected thing that happened to you on a shoot or even a runway experience?
Most surprising, I would say my publication, because when I went to the shoot, I was not told that it was possibly going to be publicized, and that was just a total surprise for me. Wild? Can it be like good or bad?
Whatever. Yeah, good or
Okay.
bad.
So I guess the most wild thing that happened to me, I was working with a designer at the time, and there's a lot of crazy stuff that goes on in New York, right? So I was working with this designer. She had a boyfriend, and basically they they had this whole narrative in their head before I got to the location, and they thought that they were going to both hook up with me. And so that
Yeah,
was the most wildest thing, and I kind of just had to excuse myself, and I just, you just know, okay, I'm not going to work with this person again. You leave, you grab your things, and you leave and get out the situation. But that was the most wild. That took me by surprise for sure.
okay, you're gonna like this question. Okay, so this is the last
Okay.
one. If you could trade places with any fashion icon for a day, who would it be and what would you do?
Anna Wintour.
Whoa, yes, yes.
Because I love Vogue, and I know that people may paint her out to be harsh or, mean or whatever, but I really see her as obviously a hard worker, and I think that she's brilliant, and I really love fashion as well. I think that taps into a lot of my confidence, what I put on my body, how I present myself.
Right.
What would I do? I would just be Anna Wintour. Honestly, I think that would be awesome enough. I would be Anna Wintour. I'd probably write, I would love to pull looks for the seasons and things like that. I would just live through her.
That's cool, man. I love asking these kind of questions because it just kind of relaxes everything and it just
It
makes
is
the
fun.
journey a
Yeah.
lot. So, but guys, this has been a wonderful show. Do you have any more thoughts or anything that you want to add to the audience right here, Miss Reissen?
I would like to add to any model, male or female out there, if you have this dream and if it weighs heavy on your heart, if it's something you wake up and you think about every single day, definitely go for it. I've faced a ton of hurdles, I've faced a lot of setbacks, but this modeling means so much to me that I didn't let anything stand in my way. So if you have this dream or any dream at all, do not stop at anything. Don't worry about what other people say. Don't worry, what other people may think. If it's something that you enjoy and love to do, go for it and don't stop, because one day you will achieve something out of it.
That's so good. That's so good. Man, you guys heard it, man. You heard her story coming out from Indiana all the way to New York and kind of getting signed and talking about all the things that she's done with this business and the hopes and everything else that she's got, the rejections even, guys. And it's been a journey for her, and she's going to continue to have a good journey, guys. Guys, this has been an amazing show. We want to thank our guest, Miss Reissen Blum, and she's been here on the Model Way podcast. Guys, my name is Lenny Wheeler, and this is the Model Way podcast. And until next time, by the way, like and subscribe one more time. And until next time, hasta la vista.